Ever wondered what it takes to go from an idea, maybe you had it, maybe it's from the Lord, from idea to creation to national rollout? You are in for an absolute treat with my friend Drew Ann Long. Wow. Caroline's Carts has exploded. It's such an incredible story. I am so excited for you to hear from my very new, fun friend, Drew. Welcome to Market Mavericks. I'm Matthew Eford. Join me as I speak with leaders who are redefining industries in every corner of the market. From startups to established businesses, we'll uncover the strategies, challenges, and insights that drive success. Get ready to be inspired by the Mavericks who are shaping the future of business. Welcome, everybody, to the Pillars of Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Eford, and I'm so excited to have my new friend here with me, Miss Drew Ann Long. And she is one of many things, but she's a market maverick, and she has really revolutionized a lot of the space. And I'm so excited for us to have this conversation. So, Drew, for those who may not know you, if you're joining the show, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Drew Ann Long. I am married mom of three. I have three adult children now. My middle child is 25. She is severely disabled.
Okay.
She is the reason I have my business, and she is the reason that I'm here today, and I'm sure we'll get into that.
It's amazing. Okay. So congratulations for making it to adult children. We have a 7, 4, and 2-year-old at home. So we are not there. So I'm sure we'll get into some of that. But I definitely want to talk about the chairs, right? It's amazing. So for those who may not be aware, can you tell us about what you said your daughter's severely disabled? What is the business that you created for that?
Okay, so my daughter was born in 2000, doesn't walk or talk. She has a genetic condition, never will walk or talk. And I found myself, as most moms do, with three little kids at the grocery store constantly. My husband traveled for a living. So Monday through Friday, I was home pretty much by myself and carrying, I had to carry my daughter in and put her in the shopping carts that were provided. When she was around 8 years old, she outgrew every option. So I used the traditional shopping cart. You all know what that is. Then I moved to the fun carts. My kids loved those, the race cars, the fire trucks. I put her in that. She never had the ability to drive an electric scooter.
Okay.
So I was like, wow. So I'm sure there's a special needs shopping cart out there. I mean, my word, there's a big variety of shopping carts. So I went to my store manager at Publix in 2008, 2009. And I said, you see me in here all the time. Can you order me one? And he said, absolutely. We circled back a week later. I did my homework. He did his homework. And lo and behold, there has never been a special needs shopping cart.
Wow. Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, hard to believe.
And this was, just to remind everybody, this is what year when you're having this conversation?
2008, 2009.
2008, 2009. Okay.
Yeah.
So
2008. Yeah.
can't find anything.
Right.
As a mompreneur, you say that's not okay.
That's
As
not
a
okay.
caregiver,
Right.
that's
Right.
not okay.
Right.
So instead
well, I mean, I'm not the only mom, of course, on planet
of
Earth
course,
that has this need.
of course,
And what people really don't know, I didn't know. How would you know? The special needs community is the world's largest minority group. Who knew?
wow.
So I'm like, wow, we are in every community on planet Earth. We're in the churches, we're in the schools, we're in retail, we're out and about. And corporate America has all these shopping carts for all these different people group, but they left out the world's largest minority group. And I was actually stunned when I realized that.
Wow. Okay. So you get that realization, you feel burdened to do something about it. What do you do?
Oh, oh my gosh, it's so hard. I talked about it incessantly for a long time to my
Okay.
husband. And I prayed about it. And I was like, my husband, in all fairness to him, and he's fabulous and wonderful and all the things, but, he discouraged me. He's like, look, I work full time. I'm never home. You got your hands full with three littles and a severely disabled child. We don't have the time, the money, the resources. And
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to put that to bed. Yeah, you're right. Well, when the Lord calls you to do something, you don't put it to bed. And I
Amen.
could not shake it. It was waking me up at night. I was burdened and I hadn't even started. And I went to my husband and I said, David, I need you to pray with me because I feel like this is what the Lord is calling us to do.
Wow.
And he said, okay. So through prayer, and I knew that this was my calling, I said, okay, Lord, I have no idea what I'm doing, but if you will open the doors, I'll do what I can as long as you help me. And my first drawing of this right here still looks like that, was on a napkin. My husband and I had gone out to dinner and I'm like, this is not hard, David. This is not hard. This is not electrical. It's not hard.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad I was so naive. I say that my nativity is how I survived this journey because it was anything but hard. I'm glad that I did not see the picture, because had I known, would never have done it.
Sure.
Would never have done it.
Sure.
So yeah, wow. Just here we go. Let's go.
So you get on, you're burdened with it. You're waking up, you're feeling this clear call from the Lord. You
Yep.
don't really know what to do. So at what point is this from 09 until when you launch Carolyn's Carts?
Okay, so I think it was 08, and the first
Okay.
carts hit the market in 12. But
Okay.
I want to say that what I realized, I mean, literally, I mean, I have a degree in business. I did accounting my whole career until I had to stay home with my children, and I was like, what is that? Where do I start? What? No, hunting and pecking. And I realized, so I researched there's 4 shopping manufacturers in the United States.
Okay.
I went to all 4 of them. One I went to in person, but I reached out to all 4 of them and I said, don't want money. Don't look. I took my napkin. I'm like, right here. This is it. Let's do it. This is a huge need, huge unmet global need. All 4 of them told me no. All 4 were
Wow.
like, oh yeah, they weren't interested. Made me mad.
Sure.
And I was like, wow, they were just so dismissive of this. And they didn't walk the path I walked. They didn't have a special needs child.
Sure.
But they just didn't listen. And it was just like, get out of here, lady. So I was forced to do it alone. And that's why it took me so long. I was a mom first. I had to do this when my kids were at school or when they went to bed or on the weekends. And again, figuring it out every step of the way, hunting and pecking, and tremendous failures, trial and error.
So, okay, it's amazing. Kudos to you. I appreciate your stick to it in this of doing it. What did that look like? What did those? I understand long nights. I understand piecemealing things together, but how did you go from the napkin to delivering a cart in 2012?
Okay, so I cried a lot.
Any business owner listening to this said, "Amen." Yeah, we've all been there.
Crying. I may or may not be medicated now. Yeah. So I prayed so hard, and I was like, Lord, you won't leave me alone on this. Okay, you're me. You want me to do this? And okay, I'm going to do it. But now I've got the 4 shopping cart manufacturers in the United States not interested. So now what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? So the Lord's like, just gave me the courage. So I knew I needed a prototype. I'm like, okay. I told my husband, I'm like, I got to get this off a piece of paper.
Sure.
I got to. So it took me about a year. I called everybody in Alabama that I knew, engineers. Oh, long story short, couldn't find anybody local. Found a firm in Indianapolis, Indiana. Crazy. Wow. They had never done anything like it, but they were very perplexed, and they said, "Okay, lady, we'll make this." Some engineers did it in their garage at night. But I mean, this would be the best. This would be the best Lifetime movie ever because nobody would believe Nobody would believe this. So they made it in their garage. And I went and picked it up in my minivan, took all the seats out, came home, put it in my dining room, this room I'm sitting in. It's like I could kick the tires. There it was. Look just like that. Couldn't even sit in it. It was just very fragile, but I took pictures of it. And in May 2011, I put it on social media, made a Caroline Cart page.
Okay.
Instant responses from families. Got to have it. where can I shop with this? I'm like, oh my gosh, David, I've got people.
Wow.
I don't even have a manufacturer.
Wow.
But it was good stress because it just confirmed that
Sure.
this was a need. So after that was about a year later. So now I went to the four manufacturers. The one that I went to in person that told me no, all of them told me no, but I went back. They're in North Carolina. They're the biggest and the best. And I'm like, I'm still here. I got it off paper. Here it is. I wheeled it into their office. I did my dog and pony show of how important this was. And they told me no twice. I cried all the way home. This was in
Sure.
North Carolina to Alabama. And I was like, okay, Lord, I mean, I can take rejection, but this is, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, and the money, my first prototype was $28,000. Couldn't even
Wow.
fit in. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was every savings we had. So we didn't have much savings. And so we're out of money, no vacation. And I got people wanting it because I went to social media, but I can't find anybody to make it. Well, you have to have a product to have a business. So lots of prayer, hunting, and pecking. I found a manufacturer in Georgia.
Nice.
He had never. I forgot the name of the town. It's been so long ago, but he made lumber carts. So you're going to Lowe's
Okay.
and buy big sheets of lumber. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it's in my wheelhouse. I've never. Okay. So for $100,000, he could make me 100 carts.
Okay.
Didn't have $100,000. Now, I want you to know that we are so far in debt because after prototype number one, I had to get 3 or 4 more. Okay, that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the business.
Sure.
I had to have something you could sit in after I paid $28,000 for something you couldn't. So we are so far into debt. And I was like, okay, Lord, this was not part of my plan. I did not say I'm going to debt. And when
Sure.
people think that you're obedient to the Lord, you think it's just going to be just smooth.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's what it was. It was insane, and it was tears. And I was like, I don't have $100,000. And my husband's like, well, this we have. So against all of our wits and what we knew was right, we took money out of our 401k,
Wow.
and that was the first $100,000. We took lots. We took it all, but that
Sure.
was how it started. So I get 100 carts. I actually get 88. There was a fire. Long story. So I had 88 carts. I go to Walmart, Target. They're like, we don't want that. We don't want that. I was like, what? I was like, what?
What do you mean you don't
So
want this?
I'm like, I'm dying and I'm going to lose my house if somebody doesn't buy this cart. So they said, well, we only buy from the shopping cart manufacturer in North Carolina. I did not have the guts to say, well, I know they know all about me.
Yeah,
And they told me no
they
twice.
actually they've met me twice. Yeah.
Twice in person and
Yeah.
told me no twice. And so they're the biggest, the best. And that's where everybody was like, oh, so I didn't say that. I can get in my car and start crying again. And I told my husband, I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And we decided that the locally owned mom and pop stores were the only chance we had. So I knew that I needed to create the demand for this product.
Okay.
If you don't have demand, you don't have a product. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want just Alabama demand. I needed global. It's international now, but at the time, I needed U.S. demand from all over
Sure.
the country.
Sure.
I needed East Coast demand, West Coast demand, all the things. So I literally Googled and I looked for locally owned mom and pop stores. I've never been to one of them. This was all over the phone because remember, I can't travel because my husband travels and I've got 3 little kids, so one disabled. So over the phone, I would say my dog and pony show, and I sold the first cart to Sunset Foods in Chicago, Illinois. Never been there.
Wow. Okay.
Never, still
Let's
to this day,
go.
never been there. So after they bought one, I went to social media and I was like, oh God, okay, there's the Caroline's cart in Sunset Foods. Here's the address. Somebody go look at it. Somebody take pictures. I did that 88 times strategically all over the US.
Wow.
Because again, now I was at the mercy of who was going to buy it. I mean,
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But my goal and my plan was to create a nationwide demand,
But make it so big, make the demand all over the place. Yeah,
all over the
that's
place.
so smart.
So it took about a year. And again, all those 88, everybody's like, oh, you made money. I didn't make a dime. I mean, please, I have patents, patent fees, patent lawyers, licensing. I mean, all the things. I mean,
Sure.
we're $500,000 in debt.
Wow.
again, I thought that this, would I have done that? No, of
Sure.
course not. Of course not. I'm like, I'm going to be home. We're going to be homeless if this cart doesn't succeed. And just crying out to the Lord all the time saying, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me everything, Jesus. You just gave me the idea.
That's right.
I
This is
need to
not
know.
what I signed up for. This was
It
not
was,
on the back of the napkin, okay?
it was not on the back of the napkin. So, got 88 carts seated in the United States. I was done. I was like, that took 4 or 5 years. I'm like, that's all we got. We're tapped out. There's nothing else I can do. So I was sitting at this very table, about a year later, and my phone rings, caller ID, North Carolina, USA.
Yeah, we're talking.
I'm like, oh my gosh. The only person I know in North Carolina doesn't like me at all. It can't be. And I'm like, hello, because what? I mean, it had to be them, but why would they call me? And they said that I had created the demand and that they were having Walmart and Target and Kroger call them
Wow.
saying, we
Wow.
want Carolyn's cart, but we won't buy from that lady. Because I didn't have the standards. I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
This is, I was barely breathing. So third trip to North Carolina, trip number 3 is when I got my contract with them.
Wow.
And, the rest is history, but it was very, very, very difficult.
That is
Rewarding, but very difficult.
of course. Yeah. But you climbed that proverbial mountain.
Right, right.
And
Oh,
and
sure.
it was lots of peaks and valleys along the way.
Yeah, more valleys than peaks, for
More
sure.
valleys than peaks. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you get in, the contract is signed,
I'm in.
and then what happens?
It was a slow go. It
Okay.
was, I think the first month they had it, maybe they sold 100. I mean,
Okay.
that's great because it took me a year to sell 88.
Yeah.
you
Sure.
know?
Sure.
But it was, the tide started to change. And it was now really starting to become something.
Sure.
We're in probably year 6 now. So I'm working social media like a boss. Thank goodness for it because it's free.
Sure.
And for people like me that are starting from the ground up, it was just a critical resource. So I would just continue to be the cheerleader, be the face, go to conferences, promote. And it was like tumble. It just kind of tumble. It just kind of got bigger and bigger. In 2017 was our biggest year. Target did a national rollout. So
Wow.
every single Target in the United States in 2017, huge, huge. 2018, every Lowe's home improvement store, they did a
Amazing.
national rollout. 2018. Now Walmart was like
Sure. Sure.
they were only getting one here, one there, one here, one. We had asked for a nationwide rollout for years and years and years and years and years, and it was always no, 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 no. 2024, July 2024, Walmart decides it's time.
Wow.
I got to go to Bentonville, Arkansas.
Okay.
Walmart in 2020, that got to go to exec row. I got to meet all the big dog. I mean, it was very surreal. It was just, there's really no words for it, but they finally did a national rollout. So now Caroline's card is in every Walmart supercenter, every Walmart neighborhood market, and every Sam's in the United States.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And that really, Target's great. Who doesn't love Target? Target's great. But Walmart was the gold medal of
Yeah.
of this industry.
Sure.
And it really breathed new life into the cart. And today, Caroline's cart is in 8 countries. We are in Dubai. So if you're ever in Dubai, you can see
Amazing.
Caroline. I know it's just insane. I mean, it's
Amazing.
it's nothing but God. So I appreciate podcasts and platforms where I can thank the Lord because how could I do this? I couldn't.
Sure.
I was I feel like it's very important when the Lord asks you to do something. I think as a believer, you have to be obedient.
Yeah.
But what I want to shout from the mountaintop is don't think it's going to be easy.
Amen. And
You
and
know,
what a
and the Lord would, my husband and I were tried, tested. Our faith grew. My typical children were a part of this journey. They grew up doing this, and my daughter's in Dallas, married, and she'll see it, and she'll see somebody use it.
wow.
She'll be like, "Oh, that's my Caroline's my sister." So very rewarding, very humbling that the Lord even chose our family to do this, and we're very proud of it, and still work on it every day. We still have a lot of runway left, as big as it is. We're still working on it.
What is encouraging to me, and I appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate you sharing about your daughter, and that you look back in 2007, 2008 when God gave you this burden,
Mhm.
and you never would have thought it would be here. And it's
Okay.
amazing what God does when
Yeah.
we show up faithfully.
Right.
That He can
Right.
do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, right?
Yeah.
And we
Right.
see that over and over and over. And your story is an incredible example of that.
Right.
Of
Right.
there is this community of people that we love as parents, community loves, that they're underserved, and why would there not be a cart for them?
Right. Right.
And
And
now
I
there is.
and I do wonder, how many, and I got, I've gotten thousands and thousands of emails over 15 years I've been doing this. So I've gotten many, probably 100 plus, of saying, I, I I needed this 10 years ago. I thought of this in 1985. I thought of this in 1993. Why? I don't know.
Sure.
It was it was a need. It had been a need forever. Um, why it never happened? Maybe they just never attempted it. Maybe this was just something that the Lord had for my family, so He saved it for us. I don't
Sure.
know. Um,
So for let's talk just real quick about the business structure. So you go to this manufacturer, and this may be too personal. We can cut this out if it is. You're licensing it to them?
yes,
You have your patent, you license
yes,
it to them. So you're not having to be the manufacturer. You're just
right,
making a dollar amount or a percentage for each one of these sold.
100%. They licensed my patent, yes,
Very cool. And so,
and my international patents and all the things. Yeah.
what is your business structure now, if you don't mind me asking?
What?
What is the setup now?
Same. I mean, it's the same contract. I mean, we're still working under that same contract.
Sorry,
They,
to clarify, within your organization, is it just you? Is it just you and your husband? What does your business makeup look like at this point?
me, myself, and I. I'm me.
Amazing.
It is
That
just
is
me. I have no employees. It is.
absolutely
I am
amazing.
the founder. I am the worker. I am the make the coffee girl. I am the answer the phone calls and return your email. I mean, it's a one man show.
Love it.
Now, I will say, years ago.
The staff meetings can go long winded, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. And we always have snacks. Always.
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
I did have one employee years ago when I was just in the desert crying all the time. And I knew that someone had to be out there pushing this. So I hired somebody for about 2 years. And she was an amazing, godly woman named Rebel. She's from here in Alabama. But then when I signed that with the manufacturer, she always says she worked herself out of a job, but she
Sure.
was also instrumental. So at one point, it was me and somebody else for 2 years.
Cool. That's very cool. And so, what is your day to day? You said you still work in the business all the time. But
Yes.
what is it now? Is it continuing the international push? Are you internationally traveling? I know you're speaking. I definitely want to get to that piece.
Yeah.
But for Caroline's Cart specifically, what does your involvement look like on the day to day kind of level for that?
Yeah. I'll say I wish it was international travel, but it's not. Um, I am the face of it. I run all of the social media. I try to keep the people involved and the demand up. And, as I think 15 years ago when I started this, think about the new families that have come in the last 15 years
Sure.
that didn't want to be a part of this community.
Sure.
Let me be clear. Nobody prays for a special needs child.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't. I prayed for 3 healthy babies, and that's just not what I got.
Yeah.
And as Christians, and you believe the Lord is in control of all things, my husband and I had to come to terms that Caroline was made in his image, and we had to stop grieving the child that we wanted
Yeah.
and accept the
Amen.
child that the Lord gave us.
Amen.
And Caroline's cart will be her legacy. And, what would the world say about a child like Caroline? That she shouldn't even be here, probably. The world would say that she could not do anything and couldn't, but yes, I did the work, but she inspired me. And, I laugh and she doesn't talk. And I say that I would tell her about my day. I would lay down with her at night at bedtime and I would just cry to her. And I would just say, Caroline, I know that you talk to the Lord. I talk to the Lord. Uh, Mama needs your support right now. And I never wanted to let her down. And it just tears me up. I wanted the world to know who she was and
Sure.
that the Lord had a plan and a purpose for her life.
Yeah. And she was valued. She was
Oh,
valued by
well,
you. She was valued by
absolutely.
God. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
If it
love
wasn't
that.
for Caroline, there wouldn't be Caroline's cart. When I think of the millions that it's helped, um, any struggle, any burden this side of heaven that we have endured with her will absolutely be worth it. Caroline's first steps will be on streets of gold,
Amen.
and that has to be good enough for us.
It's amazing. So let's take just a teeny bit of a pivot and let's talk about the family side, right? Serving all of your family, but specifically a daughter with special needs. What advice? I mean, I know that's a loaded question, but we do have a lot of families that listen to this, and some of them fall within the category of a special needs child. If you look back over your journey, is there a piece of advice or maybe two that you wish you would have had early on?
It's going to be hard, and that's okay. I think that as parents, especially as mothers, we take on all the blame, all the burden, all the bad stuff. It Life is hard.
Yeah.
That's okay. The Lord never said it would be easy. Um, Again, I didn't pray for a special needs child, but that's what I got, and I had to come to terms. She was about 3 years old when I was like, we prayed for her and the Lord's going to heal her. And I had that faith, the mustard seed. I had that
Yeah.
faith. The Lord can move mountains. I believe that. I know that. I know that Caroline could walk today if that was the Lord's will for her. But I had to accept that on this side of heaven, I am in control of nothing.
Yeah.
And I give yourself grace. I think early on, I did not give myself enough grace. I
Okay.
didn't want my typical children, so Caroline's in the middle, so typical special needs,
Okay.
typical. I didn't want them to see me upset or feel
Sure.
burdened by Caroline because guess what? Little kids are watching their mom and dad.
Sure.
And I wanted them to know that, hey, Caroline's different, but guess what? We love her no different. No, yes, she's going to have a different life than the two of you. She's not going to go to a typical school, the private school that my kids went to.
Sure.
She's not going to go to college. She's not going to get married, but she's going to have a good life. So give yourself grace early on. No, you didn't want this. I didn't want it. And that's okay. And that's okay.
Yeah. Wow. That's an incredible truth. And I appreciate you making sure to point that out for us. How about for your typical children, your first and your last there? Any advice on not missing them in the midst of additional care for a child? Any advice that you would give to parents from that arena?
I missed a lot. Caroline grew up at Children's Hospital in Birmingham.
Okay.
I never saw my son on his 7th or 11th birthday. Caroline was critical on a ventilator in the ICU. I was afraid she was going to die. They told me she was going to die and I couldn't leave her. Twice, I just never saw. I had to make phone calls to him. You're going to miss things.
Yeah.
It's okay. I didn't want, I mean, that's not my choice.
Sure.
But again, know that the typical children are watching you and watching your response to every trial and tribulation that you encounter, not only with Caroline, but with other things in your life. And again, my husband and I wanted them to never think that we didn't love her. She was a mistake. Our life was just, oh, so difficult because no, we did the best that we could to explain to them, be honest with them, but let them know it's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be a little harder, but we're gonna do the best we can.
Yeah. Amen. I love that. Okay, so Drent, you speak now. You have this
Yes.
incredible journey. You get to talk about God's faithfulness. You get to talk about this incredible success that you had. It didn't start out successful, but it incredibly changed into success. As a parent of a special needs child, you have all of these different avenues that you can speak. When did that start for you? Was that early on in this success? Was that at the Target rollout? What did that kind of journey look like for you?
It ebbed and flowed. I would say that it probably really did start around Target because Target was a nationwide rollout.
Okay.
So now we weren't just in a handful of these or a hand. Now it had some impact, and it had a nationwide impact. So I have done a lot of speaking. Um, I'm limited. Well, I'm not anymore, but back then, when you have three little kids at home, you're limited in how far you can go, and your husband
Sure.
travels.
Yeah,
We
sure.
both couldn't travel. So now that my kids are older and my husband has a job where that is much more less demanding, I now have the ability to travel more,
Nice.
and I love doing that. I I speak for so many reasons. Number one, I want to encourage people. A lot of people have good ideas and they're afraid to do it. I want people to say, please listen to this story, because you don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a business plan. You just have to have grit and determination. And you have to just know that it's going to be hard, and just to see it through. One thing I want to say, my husband and I started a nonprofit called
Wow.
Caroline's Cause. And we started this. It is a college scholarship nonprofit. We, my son's at Auburn right now, but my daughter graduated Auburn. And when she was 2016, we were looking for scholarships. So many scholarships out there. And we thought that there might be one for siblings of special needs children.
Okay.
There wasn't. So what do you think I did? I was like,
Yeah.
I told my husband, I'm like, I have another idea. He's like, no.
No, not the ideas.
I said, this is not a product. So we know, and we have watched in our own family dynamic, that the typical kids do make sacrifices.
Sure.
They make sacrifice. I'm not saying they are not happy about it. And they don't tell mom and dad that. But there are things that we simply cannot do with Caroline. And we want to recognize the special needs family. And we want to say to that sibling, hey, we see you.
Wow.
We know that you have given up a lot.
Yeah.
So Caroline's Cause now is in its third year. Well, funny story. I started it in 2017, and in 2018, as I was just getting it off the ground good, my husband had a massive heart attack. He survived, but
Wow.
I had to put it in the drawer for a while, but
Sure.
I've gotten it back out. And when people hire me to speak, they can pay. This is a nonprofit, so they can get a tax deduction to pay me to come speak, and their fees go into a scholarship fund.
I love that.
So, and it's all about giving back. And that is, we say it's a win-win-win. It's a win for the family through financial support. It is a win for the student because we get to kick off their education, their
Yeah.
secondary education. But the ultimate winner is a special needs child, because if you didn't have a special needs sibling, you can't even apply. So
Wow.
we want to honor all the members of that family.
I love that so much. What an incredible opportunity to see families. And again, what's so cool about your story is you're taking your perspective and you're just saying, within the community that I am in, this is a need that I have. This is very raw for me. It's very practical for my family.
Right.
I know other families need this too.
That's right.
And you're hitting in all the different facets. I love that so much.
I think we've awarded 18 scholarships. So that's my main goal for speaking now.
Wow.
Is to raise money. And well, of course, is to talk about the cart.
Sure.
But because of the success of Caroline's cart, that is how this was born. I can't talk about one without talking about the other.
Sure.
But that's what speaker fees go to. It allows me to raise money for families like mine.
I love that. Well, that's incredible. So when you look over the next 10 years of your life, what are you excited for?
I'm excited to see Caroline's cart continue to grow. Again, we are huge, but we are not everywhere. So I'm excited to see the Lord make Caroline's cart standard store equipment. That is my goal. We are standard store equipment in, gosh, thousands and thousands of stores, but we're not 100% yet.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see my nonprofit grow and travel. And my prayer is that the Lord will use me and he will book me and he will send me to churches and women's events and all the things where I can tell my story and encourage other people that want to do something like I've done.
Amen. Well, I will join you in that prayer. I will look forward to see where this continues to go. Thank you for following that difficult call back in 2008. And it's amazing to see what God has done through you showing up.
It is amazing. And I thank you for this platform because it's hard to tell the story of Caroline's cart without giving credit to the Lord, because when you hear the story, you're like, lady, that was a 1 in a million shot. And it was.
It was.
So
It was.
it was just the Lord. Just the Lord.
And it's amazing when God shows up. And
shows up and shows out and does
Yeah.
immeasurably more.
Amen. That he does. Well, Dran, if somebody's wanting to know more, please don't give our cell phone number. If they want to book you for speaking, if they want to know more about the cart, if they want to get into the ecosystem, how do they get connected to you?
Okay, so my website is www.drewandspeaks.com.
Perfect. I'll make sure
drewandspeaks.com.
Make sure that's in the show notes. Everybody check it out there. Well, Dran, thank you so much for your time. What an incredible encouragement it has been to me, and I know it will be for our audience as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on Market Mavericks. We'll see you soon. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Market Mavericks. We hope you're walking away inspired and ready to take your own adventure to the next level. Don't forget to follow the show to keep up with our latest episodes. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe, share it with others who could benefit. And hey, if you know a market maverick who has a story that needs to be heard, please drop their name in the comments. We would love to bring their insights to the show. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and leading with purpose.